Okay, another quick yard update. I did not know it was going to rain all day today relentlessly. Had I watched the news, I would have known that. But yesterday, uh, kind of a nice day, well gloomy, not rainy. I spent the better part of the afternoon and all the way till 10 p.m. overseeding slash filling in some of the bare spots in my semi-new lawn. I cut it yesterday and put another heavy coat of turf builder, Scott's turf builder, mixed with about 25% weed and feed, maybe 30% because I still got some weeds in here. And with my new little cultivator, my Still brand cultivator, I scratched up some of the spots that were bare. I don't know if I should walk out there in my shoes. It's still going to be a little squishy, but what the heck. And scratched them up, the spots, and spread, oh man, good 5-10 pounds of grass seed on them. Put the starter fertilizer and opened up a big bale, 2.8 cubic feet, I think it is, of peat moss. And did the old two-hand shuffle and spreading peat moss over top of these areas because you want to cover the seed up. Whoops, see, there's some area I didn't cover. There's some exposed seed, and I'm not going to open a second bag of peat moss now. There's some areas that I wanted to level out too, so I actually need to put more dirt there, but I'll wait till later in the summer, maybe fall. See, I'm getting some puddling there and flooding there. I hope that's not going to wash out the grass seed. This has always been a problem area over here. It's not graded properly. It was going to be the tower location at one point. That's why I didn't seed it, and that's why it's kind of bare. It's filled in pretty much on its own, but I'm helping it out. As you know, the tower ended up getting mounted on the front of the barn here, or shed. Needless to say, I went on and patched up these spots as best I could. This little area of grass, if people don't know, is going away. That's part of the new configuration design, and so far that plan hasn't changed any, so that's good. So when we come up with a plan, you gotta let it cook for a month because it's subject to change around here. I'm gonna move all that gravel that's in that driveway. I'm gonna move that here. I'm gonna gravel this whole area from that corner of the tractor shed all the way over to here, which seems to be in line, and make this a social area. This is going to be the campfire area. It's all going to be gravel, and that way it'll have some sort of a path over to where that picnic table is, which is ultimately going to be the deck back. So even though I did cut this, I didn't fertilize it. I started moving some of the gravel over. I'm going to kill this grass somehow, or just gravel it and let it go. So it's going to be messy for a couple of months going forward, but I want to fortify this grass because I'm digging on this. I got the new zero turn mower, and boy, man of days, when you cut this, it looks so good, even though you see some light spots in here. But this is, yeah, a quick, maybe a not so quick yard update. So it's been raining relentless. Looks like my friend's drain is plugged up again. It gets needles and such there. Not too overly concerned about that now because I know it does work when it does work. Let's see, so I got some flooding here. This is somewhat normal. I don't know if I call it flooding, puddling, step in and see. When it quits raining, it'll go away. The grass will suck it up, but going forward, I may level it out. It may be that this area does not need to drain into there, but my suspicion is it does. Come November and October, when we get these torrential rains that last for 6 months on end, and we have some pretty heavy downpours, you need somewhere for that water to go. So I'm not sinking in it. It's some areas are squishy. It's been raining all day, moderate to hard. So this is the worst of it. Before, there were goldfish in here. I mean, you can go fishing in here, so I have to be happy about that. No fishies, even that area there. This root, there is a root that's coming on the surface there. I'm going to need to build this up with dirt going forward here this spring and summer. Try to float that up so I don't keep shaving that off with the mower. But for the most part, that grass is pretty healthy, dense, green, darker green. But I want this baby to look like a fairway. A putting green would be better yet, but fairway would be good too. So that's the peat moss update. I said this was going to be a quick update, but maybe I'll make it a not quick update. I did get the north side of the property in the back here, northwest corner, all done, ready for the fence. I'll be putting a wooden fence up against this lady's chain link fence that she does not want to remove. I pulled all the ivy out and spread some chips. Oh, this was a disaster. This was a serious brush dumping ground. Oh, it was bad, but pretty happy with that. I have some more ivy I need to pull out when I'm ready for that. Generally, I'm ready to spread the remainder of the chips here. Ground is pretty well cleared out. I have a one last bastion here back there that I'm working on. These rocks are going to stay here for the time being. I'll be getting rid of this firewood here, giving it away or something. But I got all this cleaned, this cleaned. I got this big dirt pile out of here. But somehow there was a ton of rocks there. So I've been on my hands and knees for 4 or 5 days straight, cleaning all this out, all the rocks out. And because I want to spread all of those chips out here. So I'll be done with the chips out front and put a garden in. The only last remaining area is this area here. It's a little bit rough. Some of this chips are mixed with branches, bigger branches, but more importantly, a rock. Somehow when I had the landscape rake on the tractor, I pulled out a bunch of rocks. I don't know where they came from. So I got to manually get down and pick up all those rocks out. There's not a lot, but that's a lot of bending over. I'll just get on my hands and knees here an hour or so. I just root through, pick up all the rocks, throw them in a wheelbarrow. I have a pitchfork rake to rake out some of the bigger branches here, because this is really bigger than bark. These pieces here are bigger than what I would consider wood chips. I mean, these are tailings from the brush hog a couple of years ago. What I could scoop up with a pitchfork or bedding fork, I'll throw on a fire. The rest of them I'll just scurry over into this area and make this kind of a natural compost dumping area, so to speak. I did clear it out. There's a depression there. I'll be putting tailings and rocks and stuff when I go grade the front yard out. But it's getting there. I can drive the car and truck around here now. So I want to finish this with the chips, get all that cleaned up so that I could utilize that nice tractor shed for both either the Challenger or the truck. A little mogul here, but that's okay. So yeah, incremental changes. I don't fret so much over some of the issues I fretted about before. Standing water, it's like, well, so what? I know that it will drain there if it needs to. If it turns out where I get fishies and get a lake here, a pond, that's okay too. I just don't care. I mean, I have dry wells back here that I could put the backhoe on if worse comes to worse. I could dig new French drains or dry well somewhere. I may have to do that. There's the bedding fork, which is different than a pitchfork. The tines are closer. This isn't overly expensive DeWalt, but it's fiberglass handle. It's easier and lighter on the arms. The backhoe is off the tractor right now because I have the landscape. We talked about this area, which is going to be gravel, which is good because he does turn into soup in the swamp. I got to be careful with my shoes here. My Skechers I got for Christmas. This has always gotten soupy because I do have a drainage problem here. Ironically, the gravel seems to fix that. Gravel is either up higher or whatever, but I never really get puddles in the gravel. I have a downspout here, which is this whole half the house, and that dumps out here in the middle of nowhere. So there's nowhere for that water to go. So it's kind of like rolling down in this area, because when I graded this side yard, I had to grade it down into the woods, and it naturally slopes that way for the most part. It's not perfect, but this has nowhere to go. What needs to happen is it needs a drain pipe, and I may still do that and drain it off over here someplace. I got to be careful. One of the septic drain field lines comes right up along here and 10 feet from the corner of the house right there. But at this point it's 3 feet down. I had it scoped out and measured. So if I do put one of those black flexible pipes there, it has to be no lower than 3 feet. Maybe I'll run it out here somewhere. So if I can divert that water somewhere over here, away from here would be okay. But this is ultimately going to be grass, so I'm just not too worried. This is grass. This gravel road's coming out, and all this gravel I'm going to try to reclaim and scrape it and put it into here. Like I said, this is going to be the burn area. Here's the tower in all its glory. It's right at home. It's all messy already, but this will all get cleaned up in the summer. This junk will get cleaned up. But this gravel is pretty thick because you can see the thickness of the slab portion, sidewalk portion that he poured in the corner. So this is probably 6 inches, 4 to 6 inches of gravel all the way around. I'm going to reclaim, scrape that out, put dirt in here. All this gravel will get tractored on over here, and this will all be grass here. And this will be grass, and then that stuff gets torn out. This will be grass all the way up. I just want lots of grass. Grass will actually come all the way up to the tree. The burn pile will move. Those chips will be gone, and that's all going to be garden area. Be getting a new asphalt driveway before long, and I'll be working on that, replacing that fence and that chain link fence, and putting a wooden fence here, so I'll be completely fenced in. And God, you gotta love the rain, you know. It's watering for me, so unfortunately I was out here till 10 at night with the hose watering, because I was stupid enough I didn't think it was going to rain the next day. So some lighting issues I need to deal with. I found that out last night. This light that I put up on the back of the shed here is awesome. A little square commercial light I got at Home Depot. It casts light all the way out here. I was definitely able to walk around the wheelbarrow and the peat moss and spread out there. The only problem is when I got past here, it was dark as can be. That light does not come past that corner. So the light comes right around over here, but this whole area is dark. I need to either put a light here or figure out something, or just don't worry about it. Just don't do peat moss in the middle of the night, and then won't have a problem. So, but I do have a hunger problem right now, and that's what I'm going to do, go find me some grub. I said 2.8, it's actually 3.8 cubic feet bales of this peat moss here, right there. And I put that in the wheelbarrow, break it up and wheel it around, dust it off, starter fertilizer. So a couple days of this rain, and man, oh days, when that sun comes out and it gets warm and that fertilizer kicks in, we are going to have some nice fairway greens here. So ugly looking front yard, hopefully not ugly for the rest of my life, but there's only one of me, so I'll conquer it sooner or later. See you later. Thanks for watching.